This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
And good day, I'm Elena Russ. Today marks 18 months since Orrin and Orson West were reported missing by their adoptive parents, Jacqueline and Trezell West. The boys presumed dead, but their remains have never been found. Now, a federal lawsuit seeking $40 million has been filed on behalf of the boys' biological mother, Ryan Dean, and maternal grandmother, Dana Moorer, alleging civil rights violations. A press conference held by the family and their lawyer this morning detailed the 4 federal claims against the State Department of Social Services, Kern County Human Services, the Wests, and others. According to the suit, Dean filed reunification requests and completed parenting classes to regain custody of the boys, while also filing numerous complaints with the Kern County Human Services Department. But she believes they did nothing in response and claims they were put in the care of the Wests despite federal policies. Now, we have been following this case from the onset. We will have much more on this coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. But for full coverage for now, including exclusive interviews, breaking news updates, and the latest on these new lawsuits, head over to our website, kgt.com. And continuing your 17 Court Watch, a man due in court later today for a terrifying attack in southwest Bakersfield last week. Court documents obtained by 17 News show it was a scene reminiscent of the horror movie Psycho. Police said an intruder broke into a home Friday afternoon, swept aside a shower curtain as a woman was washing, and attacked her with a hatchet. Investigators say she tried to defend herself but was taken to the ground by the suspect, identified by police as 59-year-old Kyler Kuehl. Police say the woman's husband came home during the attack and held Kuehl down on the master bathroom floor, tying his hands behind his back with a belt. The woman told investigators she believed the attacker may have been a neighbor there on Park Bend, which is near Wilson and Plans roads, but was otherwise a stranger in her home. Kuehl was arrested on charges of attempted rape during a burglary offense, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and first-degree burglary. We will have more on this court appearance coming up on our website, and our court reporter Jason Kotowski will be live tweeting this as well. Now to your 17 Crime Watch. Kern County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a stabbing in Taft. This happening Sunday night about 9:30 as they were called out to Wilson Avenue in Taft for a report of a victim of a stabbing. There they found a man with stab wounds, and he was taken to a local hospital where he is reportedly in stable condition. Deputies say their main suspect is the victim's adult son, who fled the scene. Anyone with information on this crime is asked to call the KCSO at 861-3110. Meanwhile, the CHP investigating a deadly crash last night in Lamont. That happening around 10 o'clock on Weed Patch Highway south of Hickory Lane. Officers say a 39-year-old woman walked in front of a car that was traveling about 55 miles an hour. The CHP says she was outside of the crosswalk when she was hit. Investigators trying to determine if drugs or alcohol were involved in this scene. The woman's name has not been released. Well, more than $30 million will now be spent to clean the air in Arvin and Lamont, Kern County communities with some of the worst air quality readings in the nation. The investment by the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District will implement clean air measures, fund emission reduction incentives, and support a variety of other clean air projects in those southern communities. It's all part of AB 617, which will now go to the California Air Resources Board for review and approval, and then implementation will begin. And now to the state's homeless crisis. Kern County will be given $3.1 million from the state to fund housing and services for people experiencing severe mental illness and substance abuse. It's all part of Governor Newsom's Care Court proposal to help provide treatment and safe living options for those living on the streets. In all, $2.2 billion was provided by the legislature to construct, acquire, and expand behavioral health facilities and community-based care options while investing in the mobile crisis infrastructure.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Well, now to your business news. There's a new food truck outside of the Kern County Courthouse. It's called Delicious Kitchen. Get it? Deli, delicious. Now, the owner tells 17 News they'll be open Mondays through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Perfect for breakfast and lunch for the courthouse employees and county jurors. But they encourage anyone downtown to stop on by for a bite to eat and a drink. And a quick note for Taft residents, the Taft courthouse is closed for an unknown facility issue. The court only open a few days a month as it is, and there's no word on when it will reopen. So for now, all cases set to be heard in Taft will be handled in Lamont. If you have any questions, you can call the Lamont Courthouse at 868-5800. And now to those gas prices. Despite record high numbers at the pump, still hovering near $5 a gallon nationally and nearly $6.50 here in California, AAA predicts car travel will set a new record over the 4th of July holiday weekend. The travel agency predicting 42 million Americans will take a road trip of 50 miles or more between next Thursday, June 30th, and Monday, July 4th. A AAA spokeswoman said people are ready for a break and they're finding ways to still take that much-needed vacation. Now, AAA projects that just 7% of travelers will choose to fly during the upcoming holiday weekend, the lowest number since 2011, perhaps due to rising ticket prices and ongoing concerns about cancellations and delays. Meanwhile, the travel website U.S. News released a list of vacation spots around the country that the entire family can enjoy for a reasonable price. And here's a look at the spots in California making the list. Yosemite National Park coming in third, but you do need to plan your trip in advance there. Campsites within the park fill up within just minutes when they're released. Lake Tahoe taking sixth place in the amazing views from water sports categories, of course. San Diego number 8, number 11, Disneyland in Anaheim. NASA engineers ran through a simulated countdown Monday for the Artemis 1 mission at Cape Canaveral in Florida. The wet test, as it's called, means the rocket was fueled on the pad, but it was cut just short of entering terminal countdown. A number of warning systems flagged the stalled countdown in the afternoon before one final flag froze the countdown at T-minus 29 seconds. Artemis 1 will be an unmanned mission that will place the Orion spacecraft into lunar orbit for 6 days. A date for that first launch has yet to be determined. Artemis is the first in a series of increasingly complex missions that will enable human exploration into deep space, including taking us back to the moon and then on to Mars. Meanwhile, climate change is a growing concern as the Earth continues to heat up and dry out, but scientists at MIT are hoping a giant sun shield may be the answer. The shield would be comprised of a circle of giant inflatable bubbles about the size of Brazil. These space bubbles would then float in space between the sun and the Earth, hopefully deflecting about 1.5% of incident solar radiation before it hits Earth, effectively reversing today's global warming.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.